Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with the Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity episode number 3 reaction. Alright, the previous episode we got to see Rintaro and Kaoru. Both of them got to know that they are from the other school. Rintaro started feeling weird because obviously, like their school have like a whole like rivalry going on between them, like the girls like hate them, all these things. So like Rintaro was thinking that it's going to be awkward for Kaoruko and all that, and he thought about it, and even when Waguri came to like talk to him, he didn't really like engage that much with her. Even later on when she came into their shop, he said something related to that. Oh, like like something related to that whole situation, and he made it kind of obvious that he's feeling a bit awkward interacting with her, thinking that she might like find it troublesome to interact with her because he's one of the Chidori boys. Anyways, it was like a bunch of misunderstandings. Later on, his mother told him that you're literally doing the same thing that other people do to you, that is uh, judge the whole situation, or like decide something because of a certain situation, not trying to understand the other person and what they think about it. Rintaro never asked Waguri about her opinion on this whole situation. He just assumed that, oh, this is what people is thinking, so like it's not good. In the end, Rintaro went and apologized to her, and like yeah, and Waguri was happy. She like their friendship started, I guess you could say, in a proper way. Yeah, so let's see what happens today. Let's begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Right. Yeah, in this hot weather. Oh, pool episode. Oh, never mind. Hmm. Yeah, why? Why particularly these two? Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, why we two? Oh. Hmm. No. Yeah, the sports festival. Right. Ice cream? Well, you know what? Better than nothing. Damn. Damn. Probably not. Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, why would you say that? Wow. Oh. Discount day. Maybe she's also studying for exams. Hmm. He's thinking like how to ask. Yep. Oh, he he did press it, right? Well, she's in school. Come on, let her at least go home. I was gonna say, thanks for inviting me. Busy this month, right? Damn, her profile picture is also desserts. Oh, right. Mhm. Wait, is this a public library? If it is, Waguri might be here. This is not the school library, right? Or is it? Oh, no, it is not the school library. There's like, yeah, there's a lot of different people here. Waguri might be here. Like I said, I think she's also studying for exams. Damn. All right, anytime. Oh my god. Um. Okay. Oh, now she's gonna come. Hmm. All right, Kaoru will be here anytime. Right. Oh, is that her or no? Oh, he's going to get up. Yeah, because he's like in only one seat and there's like a few others. Okay, right. Anytime. There you go. Well, ah, mm, right. Well, obviously, you know, the term for the different schools are the same. What is doodling? Yeah, what is that? Giraffe? It's a cat. Yeah, that's. Ugh. Mm. Right. So some kind of family situation, maybe. Hmm. Oh, he's gonna fall asleep. Oh, maybe not. Oh my god, what in the jump scare? Wow. Ah, well, there'll be more discounts in the future. I was gonna say. Wait, what? Yeah? Oh. Oh, that's why. Oh, interesting. Okay, I didn't expect that. Right. I see. That's why she doesn't. I guess. I guess it's wrong to say that. Okay, I'll talk about it later. Hmm. Like, I was going to say, that's why she's so different from the other girls. Like, it's wrong to say that. Hmm. Damn. Ah, yes. That'll help. Hmm. No, it'll help her revise her own stuff as well. They're in the same year, right? Even if they're different school. I think so. Oh no, it's her friend. Ooh, oh, it's that girl, right? The white-haired girl. Oh, oh no. Ugh, this is bad. Oh my god. Ah, super. Oh wait. Right. Oh no. Oh no. Hey. Hey. Right. Hmm. Yeah. What? Oh no, this is bad. Oh, this is so bad. What? Where, was that word? Where it rains, it pours, or something like that? Oh lord, this is gonna be a whole ass misunderstanding. Oh no, here we go. He's like, wait a minute, I know you. Oh, oh, ugh. Oh no, oh no, he's going to, what's his, oh lord. I knew he was going to say something. Oh no. No, I think that's her. Yeah. Ooh. Oh. That. Hmm. 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 Ooh. Oh. Well, it'll take time for her. I'm sure she has her own, troubles. Uh, her hair color. I know. I'm pretty sure a lot of people probably said stuff to her about her hair color and everything. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Now study. Yeah. Yep. There you go. Hmm. Oh, interesting. I guess she probably feel like his hair color is also okay. I'll talk about this later. Just a minute. After the end. Damn, that's a lot of. Oh my god. Oh yeah, I forgot. In Japan, this is wrong. I thought that he was getting everything correct. I was like, why is he saying he's getting everything wrong? This is wrong in Japan. Okay. Well, just really feeling awkward calling in this moment. Hmm. Hmm. Oh yeah, the whole. Hmm. She's still on the phone, right? Hello? Oh yeah, he asked her to help. Oh yeah. Oh. Well, you guys barely met, so give it a little bit time. Hmm. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. The formal. Yeah. 9 minutes. That or it was at the time. Okay. Damn. Yeah. Right. Oh. Okay. So the childhood friends. Right. A kind person. Okay. There you go. That it? Yes. And there you go. That was today's episode. So today we meet Kaoruko's friend, Subaru, and we get to know a little bit about their friendship. We get to know a little bit about Kaoruko as well. The fact that she's not an Ojo-sama in that sense. She is a person from a normal common household. Got into what's the name? Kikyo, right? Yeah, got into Kikyo through scholarship and stuff like that. Now, you know what? From here, I can make a lot of assumptions, and I might be correct in a few, and I might be wrong about a few. Few of the assumptions that I can make is number one. Obviously, you can see Subaru and Kaoruko are childhood friends. So I'm assuming from the whole thing that we saw today, um, Subaru is probably someone who was, like, what can I say? Not looked down upon, but bullied because of her hair color. And I'm assuming she's rich. Her family, she's rich probably. I'm not sure exactly if they are, but the whole Kikyo is supposed to be a school of like rich, like people, right? Only exception is Kaoruko because she's gotten a scholarship. So I'm assuming Subaru's pretty well off, and that probably made her a target for even more bullying. So number one, her and also here's the thing: I'm not sure if she probably is a foreigner, as they said. So these things probably made her stand out, which made her a very big bully target for a lot of like children. Like yeah, they're going to do some like like yeah they jump into these type of situations trying to like bully anyone that is a little bit different from you. So hair color, the fact that she's rich, a lot of these things probably factored into something, and she probably has had her own bad experiences, especially with boys, and that is why she, as you can see, has this very much disdain for boys, and like that this type of thing she has. um Another thing, if you notice, you'll probably see in the final picture with Kaoruko and Subaru, she looks like a boy. You see, like she's like wearing like a fully buttoned shirt, hair is short, and she's like blushing and everything. So she looks like a little boy here. So I think that probably made her an even bigger target for boys bullying her. Probably saying like, oh, why do you look like that? You're a girl, aren't you? Why do you like, why is your hair like that? Stuff like that probably has happened. Again, these are all assumptions I'm making, but I can kind of guess these type of things because at this point I've seen so many like these type of like shows, romance shows and everything, that I can pretty much guess a lot of things. And I think a few of this might be wrong assumptions that I'm making, but I'm sure a few of these will actually be correct. So that probably makes her made her a target. And you can see Kaoruko's like laughing with her, like in that little picture. I'm assuming Kaoruko was the only person who actually was like her friend from a very young age and never like discriminated against her, never said anything back to her or bullied her or did anything. The only friend that she can call a friend. Kaoruko was probably that person. That is why she's so protective over Kaoruko. She hates boys, probably that's why, because I'm assuming as a kid she probably had gotten bullied by other boys because of her hair color, because she looked like a boy, and all of these things. That's probably why, like that happened. And that's why she hates boys. And she's like, oh, they're the worst. They absolutely are, like, all these things like savages and all that, like she said. Now, there's another assumption that I'm going to make, but I'm not 100% sure if that is correct or not. But there is a possibility that Kaoruko actually decided to come to this school because of Subaru. Now, like I said, this is like a 50-50 chance of this actually being true. The reason why I'm saying this is because, as Kaoruko said, that, oh, I'm in, like I have to be number one, like I'm the one who told my like parents that I want to go there, and I had to be selfish about it, so I cannot drop down my rank Uh, so I have to stay on top. This part where she says that, where's that part? Why go that far? Okay. Okay, here it is. She says that despite being from a regular family, I managed to make my way into Kikyo. That's why I need to work harder than the other students. Why go so far? Rintaro says. I begged my father and he allowed me to attend Kikyo. So I don't want to give the opportunity, waste the opportunity he's given to me. Here's the thing. You see how considerate Kaoruko is. I'm sure that she definitely didn't tell her parents that, oh, I want to go to Kikyo just for whatever reason. There must be a significant reason why she wanted to go there. And that's why I think like that reason is Subaru. Why I'm saying the reason is Subaru, I think I'm not sure because like the way Subaru, maybe if she was bullied when Subaru was bullied as a kid by other children and everything, she probably was someone who was very much dependent on Kaoruko, and she couldn't really interact with other people because of fear. Because like obviously, if you're getting bullied and everything, you'll have this whole thing which will like stop you from interacting properly with other people because you'll be like afraid. You don't know how to interact with others. So maybe that's why Kaoruko, when she realized that okay, Subaru is going to Kikyo, Kaoruko herself decided to go and follow her to Kikyo so that she could help her out in the school. And to do that, obviously, she cannot go to that school because it's like a rich girl school. You need a lot of money for that. So for that, she begged her father to let her go there, and she promised that I'll get my scholarship and I'll be on top. Again, this is all, I'm just guessing all of this. These are all speculation. I might be completely wrong, but there is a high possibility of that happening here because I feel like there's a lot of things that are going on. It's probably because of like Subaru's presence. Like Waguri helps her a lot. You can see how much she helps her out. So it might just be that even the fact that she decided to come to Kiko might just be because of Subaru, because she wanted to help Subaru out even in school. Something like that probably. Again, these are all guesses. I'm not sure if that's exactly what's going on. But one thing I can guarantee, and I'm 100% sure, she definitely has had her problems as a kid because of her hair. Because, it was pretty damn obvious when Saku said those words. You can see, like, Subaru suddenly, like, just, like, there was like a very big shift in her expression where at first it seemed like she was pretty annoyed with the Chidori boys, but when Saku said that, when he was like, "Oh, you're rich," like, and you're like, where's that part? This section. Kikyo flows. People can be slow-witted too, right? Again, this part. Subaru was looking pretty annoyed here, but then one statement changed her whole expression. This one. What is that hair color? Kiko just allows you to dye it. I guess they'll let you get away with anything, huh? Right. Must be nice being a little rich little princess. Yeah. So this section, the expression completely changed. It changed from annoyance to fear and maybe sadness. Right. So yeah, why would that happen? Because it's pretty damn obvious. This has happened to her before as well. Other people probably made fun of her hair, and it was probably when she was a kid. And it was probably boys who did that. That's why her disdain for boys and her calling them savages. So yeah, that's why. So I'm pretty sure. I'm like 100% sure about this. She definitely was like like probably harassed because of her hair color. That I'm pretty sure. But all the other things that I said, I might be wrong about a few things here and there. But I think there's a high possibility of the things that I said from probably happening, because you can see like how Kaoruko wanted to go to Kikyo. This might be one of the reasons. Subaru, because she wanted to help her out. And because of that, she knew that she was asking such a big thing from her father because, obviously they're like in a very normal family. Kikyo is a very rich, like, school. So going there means a lot of monetary, like a pressure on your family members. So that, like, because she realized that that's not going to be okay, like obviously she cannot force her parents to pay for something that they won't be able, like it's like there's like a lot of fees in this school. So she was like, no, I have to get a scholarship, and she that's why she's like being an adult. It's, there is a high possibility it's because of Subaru, because she wanted to go along with her to help her out in the school, you know. Maybe something like that, I don't know. Again, it's all a guess. But yeah, there you go, that is the current situation. Right. Okay, now another thing I have to say here is that the later section you see where Subaru was like, like Subaru did realize that one person was there who was kind of like, for example, there was like 2 to 3 sections which struck Subaru odd. You can see that. The first section was when the red-haired guy, what was his name? Alright, you know what? I need to bring out the character sheet. Um, oh, Hana. Let me bring out the character sheet. I still haven't remembered all their names. Okay, Shohei, Usami Shohei, right? Yeah. So that section where he was like, wait a minute, I know you, and he was going close to Kaoru, where Subaru was like kind of held Kaoru back. Rintaro also did the same to Shohei. That part, that's the first part that made Subaru kind of get a little bit startled, because why Rintaro like did that. There was another section which made her a little bit more surprised, which was the section where Rintaro was like, oh, Saku, that's, you shouldn't do that, like, why are you, like, I know you're not a person like that to say these type of words, like, you're probably agitated because of us, and you said that, but you shouldn't say something like that to others. That part made her also a little bit like, like surprised at Rintaro's actions. And like, these 2 sections, that's why later on she asks like, oh, Kaoru, that blonde haired boy, like, like this part, what do you think of him, or something like that, she asks. And she says like he's a very kind person. Okay, so I don't know if this is like a reason, but there is a possibility that she is, I guess you could say, maybe putting herself in the same place as him, because I don't know, like, she has her whole hair color. You can see like she has been probably like harassed by other people, other children when she was a kid because of her hair color. She noticed that Rintaro also has like a blonde hair. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe she's thinking that he might have gone through the same situation as me, but still, how is he able to stay like he is? Because like, you can see like he said there that he stood there and said that, oh, that is wrong, something like that. So I don't know, like, maybe there was a section where she thought that, like, even though he's in a similar situation as me, yeah, or maybe it's just something very similar, because like very different, because obviously there is one thing that is pretty obvious. Subaru is very much dependent on Karuko, so there is like like, obviously there's a huge possibility that she's thinking that, oh, like, if she starts spending more time with someone like him, where will I go? Like, this happens, like someone who's dependent on someone so much that you start thinking that, oh, if this person is interacting with that person, and if that person becomes a more important presence in this person's life who I'm dependent on, where will I go? That is obviously something that is very common in a lot of these type of scenarios. So I'm pretty sure that is one thing, obviously, that is kind of bothering her, but at the same time, I do wonder if later on, like, because think about it, her situation and Rintaro's situation are very similar, if you think about it like that, right? Rintaro was also judged by other people, and like yeah. So I feel like there is a possibility, maybe not now, maybe in the future, that she will find like she will kind of put herself in his shoes and kind of see like how he's handling the situations, because you can see, even though Rintaro have gone through a lot of bad situation, a lot of like judgment and other stuff, you know he is still a person who's kind, unlike Subaru, who is really like aggressive, overly aggressive about these type of things, which is obviously you cannot blame her, because I'm sure she has had her own past situations. But Rintaro is not like that. You can see that even though Rintaro has been judged, at least for now, he's still someone who is like, who looks at situations in a more broad-minded way. Um, so like there is a possibility in the future she might take, I don't know, inspiration, not inspiration. Inspiration is a wrong word to say, but she might take like, I don't know, like see him and try to understand like how he's able to like deal with these type of situations in a more effective manner. Like, yeah, but I don't know, like that's something in the later on, but I'm pretty sure, like, like this is like a very obvious thing, that her situation and Intel's situation are very, very similar. Like, again, they still haven't mentioned, or they still haven't revealed what happened to her, but I'm assuming Subaru's situation past was probably way more messed up than Rintaro's. For Rintaro, it was like, the thing here is, Rintaro's situation, even though it is same as Subaru a lot, it was a lot different in a sense that people are afraid of him. Like, so people judged him, obviously, but they couldn't really do anything to him physically, or do anything to him, like, like directly go and confront him about it, or directly bully him, because you see, like, people get afraid of as soon as they look at him. They run away. So that is probably not the same thing that happened with Subaru. Subaru was probably a direct victim of bullying, unlike Rintaro, who was more of an indirect victim. Like, words hurt Rintaro, and words were the main weapon that was used to, like, hurt Rintaro. Unlike Subaru, which was probably like words and a lot of other things. People probably, I don't know, maybe as kids they probably like bullied her, like, I don't know, maybe like hurt her or something, who knows. Like, but yeah, there's a possibility that even though the whole situations might be similar, Rintaro's, in a sense, Rintaro, people were afraid of him, so in a sense his people used to just tell bad stuff about him behind his back, you know unlike, I feel like, Subaru, which was pretty direct. I feel like, like he was like directly bullied, something like that. Anyways, a lot of these things that I said here are, like I said, all assumptions. I might be wrong about a few things, but like, I think I am correct about a lot of things, because it's pretty obvious. The whole interaction with Saku literally showed us that she is pretty sensitive to comments about her hair color. So yeah, and this is a very common theme in anime as well. Like, like there's so many animes where you'll see like people getting bullied because of their hair color. Like stuff like the hair color, big forehead, what else? A few other stuff as well. But hair color is a very common thing. Getting bullied because of hair color. Now, Saku thought that she has dyed her hair, but I don't think she has dyed her hair. I think that's her natural color, probably. So yeah, right, that kind of thing. So yeah, let's wait and see. Like I said, this is a very common theme in animes. Like this whole thing. Not maybe this happens in real life as well, but like I cannot really say, because like most people here are just like we like in India at least, everyone has like dark colored hair. Like we don't have different hair colors. But I'm assuming like maybe in other places where there's a lot of people who might have like different color hair, like because this is a very common thing theme in anime, so I feel like there must be something some kind of truth to it. Like maybe in reality this also happens. I don't know. Like this is a very common thing in animes. Like different hair color means getting bullied. So anyway, so I cannot really say that much, but I'm assuming this is like an actual problem that probably people faces there. um right. But yeah, obviously these are all like children. Like like when you're a kid, like you see like how vicious people are when they're children, like bullying other people. And like bullying is a very common thing amongst children, especially because they don't know anything better. Like they're not mentally developed enough to understand what is right and what is wrong. And a lot of the situations, it just escalates into so far that yeah, it becomes like a whole trauma for the person getting bullied. So yeah, like I'm not saying that, obviously, like I'm not saying that adults don't bully each other. That also happens, but it's more prevalent in children because they don't know what is right, what is wrong, what I should do, what I shouldn't do. These type of things. um right. Alright, so yeah, there you go. That was about Subaru. I talked mostly about Subaru because like her situation, at least I feel like there's a lot of things going on in the background, which we obviously still don't understand. We'll get to know little by little. But I think I'm I'm pretty much correct about a lot of things. I might not be correct about everything, but I'm sure like there's a few things that I'm correct about. Now, other than Subaru, today's episode also had Rintaro wanting to do better in exams, that and also realizing that how he looked at Waguri was just like how other people looked at, and he said that like I hate how I've become, just like how people look at me in a certain way. I've been looking at Waguri and assuming stuff about her without even asking or without even trying to know her. Like, which is true. I also thought Waguri is supposed to be a rich person. You know, it was also a surprise to me that she comes from like a very normal background and she's here in scholarship. So so yeah, so Rintaro also thought the same thing. So he was surprised. So he was like, you know what? I don't like this. I'm just assuming stuff about people now. And this is a very common thing as well. Like people who get discriminated against, there is a high possibility that as they grow up they also become someone who starts discriminating against other people because of the discrimination that they have gone through. Just think about it. Rintaro probably has gone through, not Rintaro. Rintaro's situation is a, let's talk about Subaru. If Subaru was bullied as a child, because of her haircut and everything, you see how she is now. She doesn't trust anyone, especially boys. This is also one sort of discrimination, right? So because she was discriminated against as a child because of her hair color and everything, she grew up like hating those type of people. And yeah, so it's a very common thing. So what Rintaro says here, it is actually the truth that because he was like like other people looked at him, said bad things about him behind his back, kind of discriminated against him because of his hair color, maybe his height, maybe how he looks. Because of all of this, he doesn't trust people. And as soon as the distrust comes in, discrimination comes in. Like you won't look at other people the same way that you look at your closed ones. You look at your close group, like people like your family, your friends, in a certain way, and then you look at other people in a different way. You might be thinking that, oh, this person might be someone who discriminates against me. So automatically you will keep them at a distance, and you'll start assuming stuff about them. Which obviously is the main reason for discrimination. That's how discrimination starts, assuming things about other people. So Rintaro automatically assumed that, oh yeah, she goes to Chidori, yeah, everything's perfect in her life, no problem, nothing, yeah. And that's why he says that I hate the fact that I am literally becoming the person that like did these type of things to me, and I hate it. I'm becoming the person that I hate. So he decided to keep a more open mind now, like that kind of thing. But I feel like the whole Waguri situation where he assumed that she's from a like a rich, like an affluent house, it's pretty normal because like it's not really discrimination in that sense. Like he just assumed it because she goes to a like like a rich school. That's why he just assumed it. So that's not really like a that much of a big deal in my opinion, because I also assumed she comes from a rich family because she goes to Chidori. That's why. Sorry, Kikyo. That's right. So I don't think this is that much of a big deal. But I do think that the previous episode where his mother told him that, oh, you're literally doing the same thing to Waguri that other people do to you. You're just assuming stuff about her and thinking that, oh, she wouldn't she would be like, it wouldn't be good for her to interact with me. That assumption, that is correct. That is something that he assumed the previous episode. That is like a thing that he needed to understand, that, oh, I shouldn't just assume stuff about her. I should like ask her about and talk to her about it. you know so yeah. But today's thing, like where he assumed that she's from a rich family or something, yeah, that's, I feel like that's pretty normal, because come on, like like I don't think is you could have guessed that she goes here because of scholarship. You just assume that, that's pretty normal, I think. um Anyways, excuse me. Yeah, so there you go. That was that. Now, another thing I want to talk about here is obviously Saku. Now, Saku's whole thing also seems like that he has his own trouble with people. I feel like, not people, but maybe from uh like, you see, like there was a section in one of the first episode where he literally says, I hate, like he literally says, I hate the Kikyo girls. Like, obviously you have the other two friends, like Shohei, who's the other guy, what's his name, Ayato, Yorita Ayato, that's his name, right? Yeah, you have those two who are also there, and they also are pretty awkward with the Kikyo girls. Shohei also says that, oh, I don't like them, but in their tone, they're they are saying it, not they. I don't think this guy, what's his name, Ayato, he hasn't even said anything about the Kikyo girls at all. Shohei did say that, oh, I don't like them, um, but that's it. You know, the way they said that, and their tone lacks something that Saku had in his tone. Saku's tone in which he said that I hate them is something that comes from deep inside. There's something that, I don't know, maybe something in his past, maybe some bad experience with other Kikyo girls, something like that, that has completely cemented in his heart that I absolutely hate these guys. It doesn't matter who they are. The fact that they are from Kikyo means I hate them. That kind of thing. Now, I don't know, maybe something happened previously in his life. Maybe some other stuff happened. But there must be a reason why he hates them this much. Like that kind of thing. Or maybe just seeing how his friends are, everyone from Chidori gets like discriminated like this by the girls. Like you saw literally in the first episode, the girls, the Shohei got a handkerchief and it was like, oh, this fell down, and they said to burn it or like throw it away or something. That is some extreme case of like, yeah, that is crazy. So maybe seeing stuff like this happen every single day to his friends and people in this school, maybe that made him completely like absolutely hate the Kikyo girls from the bottom of the heart, or maybe something in his past. Who knows? But like his hate is something else. His hate for the Kikyo girls is not the same hate as the others here. At least that's what I think. There is something extra in his hate. Maybe we'll get to know more about it later, because he has been pretty vocal about his disdain for the Kikyo girls from the very first episode. So yeah, Shohei is more like, oh, I hate them, and then he starts crying because like he's jealous of Rintaro for having connections with a girl in Kikyo. So Shohei's hate is not that type of a hate. Ayato hasn't really said that much anything about this whole thing. Saku, however, yeah, his hate is like actual hate, like proper hate. Okay. Anyways, or maybe I'm looking too much into it. I don't know. But yeah, we'll see. So yeah, that's the whole Saku situation. That's why you can see immediately Saku just jumped into the whole thing, like where like they saw Saku like immediately like said those type of things to Subaru, and that's why Rintaro says like, Saku, you're not that type of person to say heartful stuff like that. like you shouldn't have done that. So yeah. Okay. Right, what else? Um, right. I think, yeah, there you go. That was that. Was there anything else? Oh, another thing, which is because of Waguri's influence, you can see Rintaro has decided to do, like, actually try, because he's seeing that, oh, like Waguri is doing all of this, has to be number one because of the scholarship situation and everything. He's realizing how much important this is to her, and how she's giving her all, comparing that to himself, probably, where he just doesn't really care that much, but this time, because Shohei said that, you know what, let's do it, let's show everyone, and let's participate in the sports festival, that whole thing. So now he also has something that he wants to um, focus on, and for that he has to do well in his tests. So he's like, I should take this seriously this time, and Waguri's influence is definitely influencing him as well. That is also why you can see in today's episode, Shohei was like, oh damn, you're actually changed, you're like, there is something different about you, like, you're taking things more seriously and a more, like, positive light, in a way. So obviously it's Waguri's influence, and today's episode further cements that, where we see, again, because of Waguri's influence, and because after he gets to know that Waguri is doing this all for scholarship and everything, he decides to really give it his all in this test, because he wants to join his friends in the sports festival that's going to happen, that whole thing. you know that's why he has to do good in his exams. So that's also another positive thing you could see. Right. And then obviously at the end we have Rintaro talking to Waguri in phone, and then the whole formal thing, like, oh, you don't have to talk to me that formally. And he was thinking, I wonder what type of face she's making. And Waguri is like blushing and grinning, you can see. Right. And then the final scene with Subaru with that picture. Like I said, I probably wouldn't have, like, the only thing I got up until I saw that picture was the fact that she was probably bullied because of her hair color. But then as soon as I saw the picture and I saw that she looks in that picture, she looks like a boy. Short hair with Waguri, like, she looks like a boy. That made me think, and it immediately clicked. I was like, there is a high possibility because of that she was probably bullied by boys as a child, bullied by them, because obviously because of her hair color, and also because she looked like a boy. Probably others made fun of her for that, or something like that. Maybe, the only person who was there, who was her friend, was Waguri, probably. And that is the reason why she hates boys so much. Maybe, I don't know, that might not be it at all, but there's a possibility of that. Either way, yeah. And like I said, like, there's this whole thing about dependency. If she has been someone who's been dependent on Kaoru from a very young age, seeing Rintaro and seeing Waguri talk about Rintaro and say that, oh, he's very kind, probably makes her afraid of the fact that, oh, if she gets someone better to talk to and spend time with, she'll forget about me and I'll be all alone. That kind of thing. Like, this is pretty normal thought process to have when you're dependent on someone, and that someone has someone in their life who is also as important as you, and you have nobody other than that singular person. You get afraid that, oh no, like, what's going to happen if this person who I'm so dependent on starts spending more time and, like, yeah, with the other person, I'll be all alone, I will have no one, that kind of thing. So yeah. And how do we get out of this type of situations? I guess, like, have someone in your life who is not that person, and make friends. Like this is the thing. Like, everyone, like, this is like a very common thing. Not common, but it's a very obvious thing. Like, people want connections, and people might say that, oh, I'm introverted and all that. But come on, at the end of the day, you definitely want connections. It can be one person, it can be two-person, it can be 5 people, or maybe 10, 12 people. But connections is a very important thing in human, in human life. So having one person you're completely dependent on obviously is going to bring these type of situations in where you'll be afraid if the other person gets someone else and spends more time with them, because you, if you're cut off, you're all alone. You won't have any connections, anyone to talk to, anyone to share your thoughts with, all that stuff. So to deal with that type of situation, all you have to do is make more friends, you know like have other people in your life and make it a balanced experience. Not just focus on only one person and be dependent on them for every single thing of your social life. Have like 3 or 4 people, that kind of thing. So yeah, right. Anyways, let's wait and see what happens. A really good episode. And yeah, let's watch. Let's see how this goes and where this takes us. That is it. That was my reaction to episode number 3 of The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed, comment down below, anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, I'll check them out. And that is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.